Now, hi.
Hello.
Welcome everybody to SAS.
Welcome to SAS. Not sure what day it is, girls. Wednesday, maybe? Losing track.
Supposed to be. If it's not, we're on the wrong day, Sharon.
Oh, I had to explain to my mom what live meant. I said, Mom, what live means is that I'm on the show right now. I was like, you can talk to me live. And it'll be a Christmas miracle if she figures out how to get on here. But
Oh, so how are you doing, Sharon?
Well, this week has been rough. I'm not going to even lie. I've had frustration. I've had tears. Easter was very triggering. Perfectionism. I tell you what, if I see one more perfect post on Facebook, I think I'm going to snap. The boredom, I think, has given people more time to really perfect how they present themselves. And
I think that's true. I was thinking about that today because I struggled with that a little bit too. We didn't do the Easter egg hunt. We couldn't even find the eggs. We didn't dye eggs. We didn't, get all dressed up and take a picture on our front porch. And, not that those things are not great. I have no problem with people who do those things. That's fantastic if you did that with your family. I just didn't do it this year. Some of it was just logistical issues, and some of it was it's a lot more fun to do an Easter egg hunt with a whole bunch of kids, and I don't know, we just didn't do it. Well, actually we couldn't find eggs was one of the reasons we didn't do it, but I struggled with the seeing everything everybody was doing. I was like, how can they do that and we couldn't find eggs, and all this and that. But I realized when I was thinking about it today, it took me a half a week to get there, but I realized that each of us have our own thing that we're really good at. And I was just thinking about how if we're not willing to say, hey, all I did was lay in my pajamas all day with my kid cuddled up in my lap while we watched TV, we missed the specialness of the moment that our kid was cuddled up in our lap and we watched TV together. And they're just everybody is different in the way that we are handling this, or the way that what we're good at is different. And I think this is really a time where we need to learn to embrace that, embrace what makes us different,
Right.
Because you might like a perfectly clean house. A lot of people do, and having their kids home right now is driving them crazy because they can't keep it perfectly clean. And then there's those of us who don't keep a perfectly clean house and it's a mess. And there's differences there. One is I actually wish that I had had a cleaner house growing up, Sharon, because maybe I would be better at keeping a clean house. I didn't see that modeled. But what I did have was a mama who came and sat in my bed with me and would laugh till we cried about the silliest things, and all that, and her doing my hair all the time and all those kind of things. And so they're different. Everybody has different gifts, I guess is what I'm saying. And I think that's really important to embrace whatever that is. If it's laying on the couch cuddling with your kid versus right, versus putting together a perfect dinner and everything. I think that each one of us have something that we're really good at, and we need to see the positive in that instead of seeing the negative in the fact that I'm not like the person down the street, or my friend over here. And it's hard to do. It's really hard to do.
It is so hard to do. I had a couple of breakdowns this week because that very thing. I'm like, I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. I'm struggling to keep it together. I feel like I'm wasting this time with my children. We're never going to have this chance again. And I'm not doing crafts with them. I'm not, doing the blah, 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 and I feel like I've let them down as a mom. But they don't expect that from me because I've never been like that. So they just love me for me.
Yeah.
And I think kids are a lot like dogs. I hate to say that, but kids are a lot like dogs. They love us despite our flaws. They love us unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when we try to see us through their eyes, it may change our perspective a little bit because,
Right.
you know, my daughter watches this stupid YouTube family every damn day, and I want to strangle the whole family, but that they're perfect. Okay, they're perfect, and she watches this show every single day, and I feel like they live with us, kind of thing, like. But I asked her, I said, Bradley, you realize that is not normal. That is not, I mean, it might be normal for other people. I said, but it's not normal for us. I said, you're never going to have a mommy and daddy that does all these crafty things like this. I said, these people are doing this to make money. They're on YouTube and they're making a lot of money doing all of these things. I said, I know it sounds like fun. I said, but it's not realistic. Not for us.
Well, we have to realize too that, of course, most people are not posting a video of the blow up argument they had with their husband or when they lost it with their kids. They showed the best, the highlight reel is what my pastor calls it. He says, right. What you're seeing is the highlight reel.
Right.
And you're not seeing everyday life. And I think that's important to remember when, I personally, I'm seeing all these people making masks and sending them to healthcare workers. And I'm like, I got this thing, like, I wish I knew what I could do. What is there that I can do? I don't sew. I couldn't make a mask if I tried. They wouldn't wear it if I tried to make it.
No.
But I was like, gosh, I wish I knew what I could do, that didn't involve me going out and interacting with people and all that kind of thing. Because a lot of the things that people are doing are, they're doing that. And, that's okay for them. And it's just, our family has chosen not to go out during this time. Right. And, so I think that there are so many ways that social media is good. And there are a lot of ways that it can be bad. But I think that our perspective on it is what makes the difference.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you look at it like, I wish I was like that, then I think that it can be a really bad thing. That comparison, I think that was at the bottom of our list, Sharon. But
it was. We took it off topic. Do we have anybody on right now? Anybody in the live at all?
No, not yet.
That's all right.
But I think comparison is probably one of the roots of shame or triggers of shame bigger than anything else. I wish that I was as pretty as. I wish I was as good of a mom as. I wish that I had it more together like so and so.
Right.
I mean, gosh, I could probably go on all day listing the ways that we compare ourselves. I mean, body image is all about seeing the perfect people on the front of every magazine and in every commercial and how they look and their makeup's so perfect and their hair's so perfect. And I wish that my hair looked like that and my makeup looked like that. And I mean, it's just a constant battle in your mind. And then the next thing you think is, I'm not good enough. My husband could probably get somebody prettier than me. Huh?
You there?
Yeah.
And then it's like, why try? And then that's when my depression really kicks in, because it's like, why try? I'm never going to be as good of a mom as her. I'm never going to have, perfect hair. I'm never going to have a perfect body. I've lost all this weight. Here we go again. When I was big, it was because I wasn't happy because I was bigger than her. Or, now it's, I may be smaller, but it's still not as toned as her, so there's always, like you said, that comparison. And I think, God, society just, it is angering how they
hey,
have. Shannon. Hey, Shannon. Glad you're with us again this week. We were just talking about body image and how we as women are taught from basically, an egg, that we're supposed to look a certain way, be a certain way, we're supposed to, be perfection. And so we continually try to meet up with this standard that we're never going to meet, and I tell you what, I've done a 360 though. I have worked on that, Sarah. I used to be so jealous of other women. I mean, to the point where I think I've told you this, I wouldn't let my sister's friend come to our wedding to take pictures for her family. I mean, for my wedding, because she was pretty. So I've worked on that. And I think that's so important, Sarah, is that we don't compare ourselves to other.
What do you think is the key to, coming out of that comparison, being confident in who you are? What would you say, or anybody watching? We have 4 people on now. I don't know who they all are. If you're watching, tell me, what's the key to
Please
not? What is the key to not being overcome by comparison? Always comparing yourself to somebody else. I think for me, and listen, it is a daily exercise, is learning to laugh at the things that I don't like about myself, and also recognizing the beauty in my falls. Like I was saying about how maybe I didn't do an Easter egg hunt and a big fancy Easter dinner for Easter, but my kids and we watched Trolls together, and embracing the parts of me, the beauty in the things that I don't even like about myself sometimes, and finding, and yet as I exercise, I actually have to be, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry. I have to be really specific about it. Like I have to look at it and say, okay, well, what makes this good? What makes this flaw or failure of mine a good thing? If I wasn't flawed and I didn't have difficulties and struggles, then I could never show victories.
Right. That's true.
So
now, I had to start from the basics because for me, it was kind of like with my anxiety. If I need to clean the house and I get overwhelmed, I just don't do it at all. I have to take one little thing at a time and focus on that, and then I can tackle that. So for me, it was taking the one thing that I liked about myself, and which was hard to find. I mean, and you don't see yourself the way other people see you. There's 2 things that I like about myself that has from the beginning to the end. That I love my eyes, and I love how funny I can be when I'm provoked. So my sense of humor, my eyes, those are the 2 constants that I've always liked about myself. So I started with those 2 things, and I said, okay. And I'd look in the mirror and I'd say, I like your nose. And it was hard to say that, but I started one little thing and I just kept adding. And when I was 235 pounds, I had just gotten to where I liked myself, Sarah, where I could wear clothes and I was okay with how I looked, even when I was obese at 5'1". And then I lost 115 pounds, and now I had to start all over again because your mind's a weird thing. You will find something else that you don't like about, and then you start comparing that. So it's a constant thing that we have to work on.
Right.
And I don't think there's any magic pill to fix it. It's just something that you have. It takes time, and it can be painful. And to me, it's painful to acknowledge I even like something about myself, because it feels conceited to me. It feels like it's, so I don't even like getting compliments, Sarah.
I do the same thing. I'm like, I always cancel out the compliment. Like somebody will say, how nice I look. My hair is awful today. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Did you see they're like, I love your eyes. And I'm like, look at this nose. Like, what is that? What's going on right there? Yeah, exactly. Cannot take a compliment to save my life.
Right.
But anyway, any input from anybody else? Anybody got any, magic pill on how you can fix this self-worthiness thing? Sure would love to hear it.
Can you see that comment, Sharon?
I can't. We need to figure that out. But we are working on it. But no, I can't see the comment. Oh, I see. Wait a minute. I see. Yes. Did somebody?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I see it.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for commenting.
Who is that?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. We got a mystery fan up in here.
Welcome.
Well, girls, we got a serious topic really fast. We were actually saving that one for the end, but we kind of got off track there. But I think that was a great topic to talk about because I think all women all go through not feeling good enough. I mean, whether it be something we've done in our past that has made us feel, or it could be family, it could be friends. You know, I grew up in a very Christian home, as did Sarah, and that's a whole nother topic probably for another night. But like we've talked about many times, some of these environments and some of these churches may meant well, but that perfectionism and striving to be that perfect person, whether it was looks, attitude, it drove it to the point where it became an obsession. So anyway, we won't talk about that tonight because that could be like Pandora's box. We're not going to do that. But let's talk about some fun things. What are some crazy, obsessive, compulsive, maybe a habit that you have that you're embarrassed to talk about, that other people may not know that you do? I've got one, but I'll ask you, Sarah. Anybody else in the room got any crazy, embarrassing things that they do behind closed doors that nobody knows about?
Real quick before I answer that, Shannon asked us to please pray for them in New Jersey. That's a real hot spot. A lot of cases there. It's really serious. So let's just remember those folks up there.
Absolutely.
That, I think it's a completely different situation than what I am in right now, which, this is not easy for us. But to think about being in a place where, there's a lot of deaths every day and all that, I think is completely a lot more difficult. So we'll be keeping in our prayers, Shannon, and all those others there in New Jersey, New York, and all those places, California, Florida, I know are some of the hot spots. So we'll just really be praying for those people and also the healthcare workers as well.
Oh, absolutely.
A weird habit. I'm going to have to think on it for a minute.
Well, while you're thinking on it, I'm going to go ahead. I am a tweezer queen. Okay. I hide tweezers around the house like dogs with a bone. Okay. I will hide them in the couch. I'll hide them under the couch. I'll lose them, but I probably have 100 tweezers in this house. I tweeze, and God, I don't even know if I should say this because there's probably a family on the line, but our family is very hairy. Okay. We have a very hairy family. A lot of hair. Okay. So I am obsessed with chin hair. Okay. And if I start feeling like Chewbacca up in here, I'm like tweezing. I mean, okay. So I will take tweezers with me everywhere. And if I can't find them, Sarah, I will literally have like a panic attack. My husband said we should have invested in tweezers. I know it's a picking disorder. I do believe I have a picking disorder. But as soon as we got off of here, you know what? For stress, I'm going to pick my chin hair. That's what's going to happen. It'll happen.
Oh, well, weird habit. Embarrassed to say, but I shave my chin because I also have chin hair. I have a condition called polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is basically a hormone imbalance, is an easy way to say that. But one of the symptoms is facial hair. And I refuse to let it grow out long enough to be able to grab it with the tweezers or long enough to be able to wax it. I'm like, no, I will not. What is it? It's supposed to be a quarter of an inch or so before you can wax it. No way. Not happening. I mean, now would be the perfect time for that because you're not going out anywhere.
Exactly.
But you still have to go get it waxed.
I,
I'm sorry. It's too much.
well, see that I have. We're talking about the nether regions. I have never in my life. I've heard that it's great. I am more of a '70s girl. No way, no how. I don't care. No. So, but the tweezing is specific to. Now, I have tweezed my eyebrows to the point that I look like Vanilla Ice. I got a little too crazy. I do have to draw some of that in. And let's face it, in the '90s, the pencil thin eyebrows were in, right? So we plucked and plucked and plucked. I mean, we'd have like one little like line here. And now that we're in our 40s, the big, thick, bushy eyebrows are back in. I'm like, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Now, the last time I went and got mine waxed, they took almost all of them off. Like literally, I look like a.
Well, see, that's the thing. I want to try one of those stencils, Sarah. I want to try one where you draw it on, because all these girls like these perfectly, shaped eyebrows on these Instagrams and things. I want to try it, but I've already got a pretty big arch, Sarah. I don't think it's gonna work, but we can certainly try it. But
getting that close to the camera to show you mine. Oh boy. Oh.
So that's my weird habit. So it's about weird body hair that I must get rid of. And I hate to say it. I think I've got a family member on here, but it is triggered by the Miller family. Every time I go to the reunion, it's like, my God. And I go home and I just pluck away. So I love you guys, but we're hairy. Okay. So anyway, next topic. Before I completely ostracize myself from the family, Sarah, because I think I've been cut off already. I've been the black sheep for years. Why change it now?
I think we scared Mindy off last week.
You know what? Mindy said she was taking a break from social media. I think she's been so overworked with everything. She's like been going nonstop with all these ball games and things. I think she was burnt out. She said, I'm just not even on social media at all. I've been watching movies and just hanging out. And so she's probably just not even on, to be honest. But so I know we talked about music. It's kind of like where you don't feel like you have a lot of diversity. Is that a good word with music?
Well, I didn't listen. I'm really revealing myself here now. I didn't listen. I don't think I listened to any secular music until I was like 30 years old, except for the oldies Mom would play in the car on the way to school. But it was a big no at the school we went to. And I remember one of those messages where they told us that they played the music backwards and said all these terrible things. Like I went down to the altar and just said, never will I listen to rock music.
And in the meantime, as Sarah is rededicating her life to the Lord for the 15th time, because we all did it, okay? We were scared to death. Okay, we were scared to death of God because, back then, if you didn't live for God, you were definitely living for the devil. So we were all scared to death that, we didn't have our life right. So we would all do it. I don't know how many times I've been saved and rededicated my life to the Lord. But meanwhile, while Sarah's doing that, my rebellious self is sneaking Def Leppard cassette tapes into our senior trip in Vermont. Was it Vermont?
I remember that. Yes, it was.
Me and Michelle Stevens were in our room and we were like jamming out to some Joe Elliott, Def Leppard, sneaking this while everybody else was listening to Sandy Patty. Okay, so I was such a bad girl, but I still love Def Leppard. It's my favorite band in the whole wide world. If the only person I would ever leave my husband for ever is Joe Elliott, and it's because he is just that particular time in my life. Like anytime Pour Some Sugar comes on, it's like I am ready to partay. I mean, something about that band, it just gets me every time. But
Yeah, I didn't listen to much, but when I did start listening, I listened to Creed and Puddle of Mud and Stained and
love that stuff.
Shannon, you should tell me some of the stuff we used to listen to back when I was living with you. Thank you. I'm assuming you're talking about Sharon's earrings. They're beautiful.
Sarah turned me on to them. She had 2 pair of gold ones, gave me one, and then I had to go get silver ones to match. So I'm so anyway, she's my earring girl. Anyway,
yep.
I miss concerts, guys. I am so ready to hit some country concerts. I got my boots ready. I've got another one in my cart. I'm ready to order them. And I don't you say nothing. I am ready to get these boots. I am ready to go out on the town, girls. So whenever this lifts, we need to figure out a way that we can have a girls' trip or something because Mama needs out of this house yesterday.
I'm ready for the beach.
Oh, we're supposed to be going to a 3-day country concert in June. That got moved out to when was that? We don't even know. That they moved it, I think, September. But yeah, love music. Music just gets me in the mood. If I'm in a bad mood, Disturbed. If I'm in a good mood, put on some rap or country. I don't care. I love music, period. The only thing I cannot listen to is classical. And the reason why is because I played the piano for years and years and years and years. New Kids on the Block. Whoop, whoop. Oh, yes. Hanging tough, baby. That's what we're doing right now in this corona. As we're hanging tough.
I love it. Yeah, who are we talking about? What was the band name that I told you the concert I went to, Sharon?
Oh. What are they? It was like this one. It was this. Or something. I don't even remember. Oh, what were we talking? Oh, Creed. Nickelback.
Yeah,
Nickelback a hard time. It happens to be one of my guilty pleasures. I will clean the house to some Nickelback and
I love Nickelback.
I love Nickelback. I don't know. Even Avril Lavigne married the guy. I mean, so they must be pretty cool, right? I like them.
I do too.
Maybe I should admit that. It's now in the cloud.
All right, guys, tell us your favorite bands.
Do it.
Or favorite music. Hey, I'll tell you, I still love worship music. It's like one of my favorites. My church, Elevation Church, has been putting out some great stuff lately. Tell you that last
song I did like the what was
like
it?
A rock song. Rattle.
I did like it. I did get into it, I have to admit.
Yeah.
That's probably the only worship song I've listened to. Sarah and I are very different in that. Hey, you know what? We all are different, and I don't look down on her for what she listens to, and she doesn't look down on me for what I listen to. That's what
absolutely not
is that we can both love.
Hey, bring your Def Leppard over, and I will jam with you.
Exactly, and I will rattle it out at your house with a Bible in my hand.
There we go. See, I love that. I love when you can love, the differences in your friendships instead of feeling like, man, I don't want to hang out with her. She doesn't listen to the same kind of music that I listen to, or
right.
da. I mean, I love that you know how to have so much fun, Sharon.
Well, Sarah, I love you, and I miss you like nobody's business. I am serious. I need another Sarah night. We need, like now. Like I'm coming over.
And I remember with me and Shannon singing music at the top of our lungs in her house. We'd had quite a few drinks while we were doing this, playing peekaboo and you name it. I mean, I love people in my life that know how to have a good time. And just because I love worship music or like to go to church doesn't mean that,
Sarah, it doesn't make you a prude or a good
girl. Doesn't mean that I can't have a good time. And it also doesn't mean that I have to be bad to have a good time.
No, exactly. You just leave that to me. I got that. Okay.
Oh,
I'm a good bad girl, I guess you could say. I don't like to say I'm a good girl because I'm not. I mean, I'm not. I mean,
mhm,
I'm not the typical girl that you're going to see in a church pew. I'm just not. But I love Jesus and I love people,
mhm.
and I try to have a kind heart.
You do have a kind heart.
Um, I get annoyed easily at people, but I love people, and I do want. Here's my thing. You're not going to find me in a church pew, but probably anytime soon. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? But I do believe in the hands and feet of Christ. And I believe that we are, and whatever my gift may not be to make 1,000 meal preps for the homeless. Okay. My gift may be that I have an open door policy, and all my friends know that. Every last one of them. I don't care if it's 4:00 in the freaking morning. If you are
Right.
having suicidal thoughts, you're down, you are at the end of your rope, despair, I am the girl that you can contact at 4 a.m. I will never, ever turn you away and say, do not ever do that again. No,
Right.
that is my gift. I am very open.
I've known you to have people at your house for days at a time, just, because they needed somebody. And I mean, you're that kind of person, and I love that about you. So,
But anyway, that's my gift, and I know you've got your gift, Sarah. You're the most patient teacher I've ever met in my life. I mean, she has taught me. She still hasn't taught me some of this stuff, and I know that she's desperately not wanting to, because I am not a very teachable person sometimes.
not so.
But we'll get through it. We'll figure it out. Well, girls, we're going to talk about one or two more things real quick. We don't want to keep you all night because we've got some things we've got to take care of tonight. We've been trying to get this quarantine beauty hack video uploaded all week long, and we have failed. And we are ready to wring both of our necks trying to get this together, but we're going to do it, and it's going to be hilarious. So just bear with us and get that together. But what is one kind of food, let's see, that everybody else likes, or let's say restaurant even, that everybody else likes that you're like, not at all? Like, I know a lot of people don't like Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell. Like 59-cent burritos, I'm all over it. But some people don't like Taco Bell, and I don't get it.
I do Taco Bell. But here's my thing. I don't do condiments at all. No ketchup, no mustard, no mayonnaise, no ranch, no dressing on my salad, no anything. It's salt and pepper for me, and that's it.
I feel like I've been stabbed.
You bring ketchup around me and even eat it too close to me, and I'm like, I can't.
Oh my God, I am the exact opposite. Like dips, if you got 10 dips, I want them all. I want to try them all. I like to dip my stuff.
I don't like Chick-fil-A sauce. I don't like what's that Pomeranian sauce? What's that other sauce? That's a dog. I'm sorry.
I'm baffled. That is beyond me. I've always been a dipper.
I don't like any sauces. Now I will eat barbecue sauce and I will eat A1. Other than that, that's where I draw the line.
I'm not an A1 fan. Is that weird? We're like complete opposites in that. And Worcestershire sauce, I can't do it. That's crazy that we're so opposite in that. But yeah,
we are. I like a medium rare steak, and you like a well done steak. So
if it's mooing at me, girl, we got to go. Okay, if I'm seeing it graze on my plate, it's got to go. Beef jerky, almost. I mean, I like it a little bit softer than beef jerky, but anything red, pink,
I don't know if we could live in the same house. I mean, we'd have to have separate refrigerators or something.
Oh, well, yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's the funny thing about our friendship is, guys, yep. I think we started off thinking we had where our craziness was what we had in common. Like we had this little bit of craziness that we both had in common, and we've had to work out from that. Yeah. And I think we've found as we've worked out from that how different how different we really are. And just like and we've had to allow each other space to grow and to be ourselves and to accept each other for those things. And like,
Yep.
and it's like, and that's the beauty of the friendship, is because I think Sarah and I both are we are the kind of people that will put our stuff out on display immediately, and we want acceptance, and we want love, and we want friendship immediately.
Yeah.
We're the kind of people that will do that. We're very open like that.
Hey, Luann.
And the problem is with Sarah and I is we open up to the wrong people. And then we find out, 6 months down the road that, oh, maybe I should never have let this person know that I'd listen to Nickelback, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe, ooh, I shouldn't have said that. And that's the beauty of our friendship, is that we've learned that we can trust each other with those things. Like we are totally different. And that is the beauty of this, is that we've allowed each other to be different. And it's been a growing process, a learning process, and that's how friendship grows. Hey, Luann, how are you? We've talked about you a couple of times on here. I didn't mention your name, but I did refer to a couple of stories that had you in them. You were the camera girl that I was like, no, she cannot be at my wedding. I even apologized to her at Melting Pot for it. I said, that's the reason why you couldn't come. I love Luann, and I've grown, and Luann, I'll tell you, I've grown a lot since those times. That was probably 14 years ago. So, but Luann is my sister's, one of my sister's really good friends. They are best friends. Actually, they've had their growing moments, Sarah. I mean, they're complete opposites when it comes to things too, and they've struggled with some things. I was talking about how, I don't even know, Sarah, we were talking about how people are taking these beautiful photos on their porches. And Luann actually is doing the photography for those people that we were talking about that are doing those photos on their porches. And there's, like we were saying, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that Sarah and I are not really, our families were basically in PJs all day Easter. We were not in pictures, but there's nothing wrong with that. That's what we were trying to say, is that, it's as we grow and we learn to expect less of ourselves, that we don't have to be perfect. We allow other people to be themselves by allowing us to be our own self. And I think that's important. Hello, there's somebody else here. Stephanie. Oh, there's my girl. Now, let me tell you, Stephanie, she knows how to get me going. And if I didn't have my sister Mindy, I swear to God, Stephanie is like my other sister that just happens to live in Tennessee. She's
pretty awesome.
She is pretty. I love her. She's crazy, but she knows how to get me going. And we went on a girls' trip in January, and Stephanie is a firefighter, or almost a firefighter. She's going through training to get there, and so she brings her firefighting uniform to this girls' trip. And needless to say, we ended up doing some boudoir photos. And Stephanie encouraged me to do some things that my body said, no, should not have done. And I'm still waiting on those photos, Stephanie. I need you to Photoshop them, like really Photoshop them, like put somebody else's on the picture. Thank you. But
Stephanie passed. She's official now. Yay!
You're official. So yeah, we need a girls' trip after this, girls. There is no doubt in my mind that that's got to happen, like immediately. Like we need to go ahead and start planning, but we can't really plan though, because we don't know when they're going to let us go out of the house. So, but we need to do something. But I'm glad you girls are able to join us. One more topic for tonight. We don't want to, keep you guys too long. We know you've got so much to do and so many Netflix shows to watch tonight. Let's talk about, let's see. What are your plans when this quarantine lifts? Are you guys going to go out of your house with masks? Are you more cautious or I mean, I know I'm kind of torn. Some days, I'm like, maybe I need to, maybe we need to cover from head to toe in mask. And then and other days I'm like, maybe this is being blown out of proportion and people just, I don't know. I've got mixed feelings on it, but then again, I haven't left the house. So how are you guys going to handle the quarantine when we finally see some lifts?
Stephanie said she's leaving the house and not returning for a month.
I hear that. Right, you're coming to see me, right?
Oh, I will probably cautiously start going out there. I'm ready. I'm so ready. Don't hear me wrong. But also know that there are people that I interact with that are high risk. And I think it's wisdom to make sure that we are careful.
My mom, bless her heart, we went over Easter to drop her off a candy, and my kids had made 2 homemade cards, and wasn't fancy, trust me. It was, just a card, piece of paper, and we miss you. Okay. We go to drop it off, and Mom's like, come on in. I'm so bored. I'm like, Mom, what are you thinking? I was like, no. I said, Mom, the casinos are closed. Churches are closed. Like, no, I'm not coming in there. I said, we have been quarantined for a month. I am not coming in there and risking, anything like that. So no, I'm not coming in there. So I don't think they quite understand the seriousness of this. I feel like I am 15. I feel like I'm scolding my 15-year-old mother to not leave the house. Like, you're going to be grounded. Seriously, if you leave this house. That's how I feel. But I am ready to get out of here. I have never been one to fear anything much, Sarah. So I don't know that I'm going to be one to wear a mask.
Yeah.
If I'm going to die, I'm going to die, guys. If it's going to be in a car accident or in an airplane or me choking on a piece of rice in here. I mean, if it's my time to go, I'm going to go. But I don't want to risk giving it to my mom and dad.
Right. Hey, Scotty, thanks for joining us.
Scotty, is Scotty, who is Scotty?
Luann says she's going on a vacation.
Where are you going, Luann?
And Stephanie said, too bad we didn't get quarantined at the cabin.
Oh. Right now, I would welcome a bear to talk to a bear right now. Like, Scotty B. God, who is Scotty B?
I'm on YouTube.
I feel
wonderful. We really appreciate you checking us out.
We do. But that name, that is not a familiar.
We'll check you out. He's on YouTube.
Okay.
We'll check you out on YouTube. Luann said anywhere she can.
On our live chat named Scotty B. Like, what was the name? Stevie B back in the 90s? Sarah, did you listen to Stevie B?
I didn't listen to Stevie B.
I got to get her up to date on some good music. We're going to have
how about self-care, guys? What are you doing for self-care right now? Because for me, if after a day or so, I have to do something that makes me feel better. Does it make you feel better? Are you enjoying not having to get fixed up or get ready to go places? Have you changed clothes this week or same old thing? Today.
We did this. I did try on my jeans, Sarah, and they still fit, albeit a little bit snugger than I like. I have not. Oh, chewing your nails and going bald, Stephanie? Yes.
Me too.
Oh, God. You don't want to see my nails. I have not tried on my my corset to see if it still fits. I am a little concerned that that may be impossible at this point. So I thought about wearing it tonight because Mama needs to get her groove back. Stella is not feeling the groove anymore. But I went around in 3-day-old camo overalls. And my husband was like, I really liked those when you first put them on. And now I'm tired of them already.
Well, what I have done is instead of watching a lot of Netflix, I'm watching every beauty video on YouTube I can find. It's been really fun.
I'm so, I just don't, I'm sick of myself. Are you sick of yourself?
Yeah.
I'm just sick of myself at this point. I am kind of irritated with my family and all that because we're stuck in the same four walls, but I am making myself irritated even now. I'm getting on my own nerves at this point.
Bye, Scotty. Thanks for stopping in. Some people are still working. So Stephanie says she's running power calls and she's still got to get dressed and do all
I need you
that.
to run your little cute butt up here to see me in South Carolina is what I need, Stephanie. I think it's essential that you come up here. Just saying, I think it is essential for my mental health for you to be here.
Yeah, I told Shannon that she needed to just come up here since it was so crazy there in New Jersey.
Yes.
But that would require her getting on a plane, which is not allowed right now.
Oh, Stephanie. Oh, Stephanie, I miss you so much. Is she? Oh, Stephanie, please hose me down. It's getting hot in here. And not me, but I am so bored. I can't even take myself anymore. I've already watched Ozark. I watched all these good shows. I could kick myself for watching it last year. Now I'm trying to find a good one. So if you got a good one, please let me know. And any good movies that you guys are watching that maybe are like a, kind of like a Netflix secret that nobody's talking about, that maybe it's like a, I don't know. Anything you guys have watched that is any good? Oh, Luann, yoga pants every day.
Yeah.
Anything with spandex, yoga pants. Oh, Jericho. What's that about?
Yeah, I think I've watched like one or two episodes. I'm watching Chicago PD all over again. I like those kind of shows. So
Ozark was really good. Sons of Anarchy was good. Breaking Bad was good. Something About Saul was good. I've seen all of those, and I really hate that I've seen all of those because those are my things. Like I've thought about watching The Sopranos again.
Luann said All American.
All American. I watched a movie called The Roommate. It was like one of those chick flicks from back in the day, like in 2011, where the roommate was like a go. And that was interesting. I watched that by myself. And then we started that girl that's on the third floor, and that really was horrible. Like I would not recommend. We got about halfway through, and my husband was like, but a small town they're at war. They've been hit with a missile or something. I don't know, Stephanie. I need some. That was good, was it not? I need like a plot. I need like a murder plot, suspense. Do
you ever watch that one I recommended? Gosh, I'm not going to be able to think of it here on the spot. It's my favorite of all time. I've watched the whole thing twice. Let me ask David what it is.
I tell you, my favorite movie of all time, though, is Count of Monte Cristo. The newer version, not the old one. The newer version, it's not really new. I mean, it's like 15 years old. But the guy that's in it, anyway, I love that movie. Love the plot of revenge. He stays in. I don't know if you've ever watched it, but I'll just give you the brief plot. He gets wronged. He ends up in prison in the middle of it's kind of like Alcatraz, but it's like based in the 1700s or something. But he gets locked up for like 17. I can't even remember how many years, but and he has to figure out a way out. I don't know. It's so good. It's about revenge, and he gets revenge. It's great, and he's easy on the eyes. So just anyway, if you want to find that one, that's one of my favorite all-time movies. And then there's Fried Green Tomatoes. I love that movie. I could watch that movie every day of the week. Love that movie. Anything with Melissa McCarthy in it. I could go on a marathon for her. Love her. Justified.
Yeah, that's the one I told you about. That
Okay.
is the best show ever. I've watched it twice, all the way through.
Who's in that? Is it on Netflix?
It might be on Prime. I can't remember. Amazon.
Justified.
It is so good, Sharon. You would like it.
Is it like revenge or about like? Is it like?
Yes, it's about revenge. It's this Kentucky lawman that's pretty hot, and he's angry. I mean, he's really angry. Has nobody seen it?
Oh no, Mama's gonna justify my love tonight with some Justin. What is it, Timberlake? But no, Justified. We're talking about not Justin Timberlake, but I do love me some Justin Timberlake. Anything with a little bit of Justin reminds me of him, so I'm gonna have to look into that. Just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But
what's the guy's name in it? Timothy Oliphant. Have you ever heard of him? Seen him? He's cute. And he plays that part so well. Like, I think he must really be angry because he does it so well. He reminds me of my husband with the way he acts. He's just very matter of fact. Like, okay, I'm just gonna shoot you in the kneecap. I mean,
oh well, yeah, just do it. Just do it.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out because we have run out of shows to watch, and it's pretty much. Oh, Revenge was good. Revenge, I did like that. It kind of got a little crazy though. I want to watch that, Stephanie, but it's telling me that I have to pay for it. Like $20 for me to watch The Invisible Man. I'm like, I'm not paying $20. So after the movie, did anybody get their stimulus check today? Did everybody get that?
We did.
It was in there like a charm. I checked it this morning. Are you guys getting yours? Any big plans for it? Any vacations? Any fun things that you want to do with it? Or is everybody putting it in savings and being smart?
We're buying a dining room table. The paint started to flake off of it, so it's
stimulate that furniture company, Sarah. Stimulate it.
Costco all the way.
I am so ready to hit a casino. But no, the casinos are open. I'm like, my God, we're gonna have more money than we know what to do with because we're not out blowing it. I don't even know what to. I don't. But car payment.
I hear you.
Yeah,
I would like a new mattress. Stephanie, I mean, ours is not old.
Your beds. This is a G-rated show, Stephanie. We're not talking about you and your hubby's bedroom behavior.
Oh, braces. We were just talking about braces today. Thankfully, I'm not sure if mine will need them, but we were talking about David and I both have an underbite. And I was wondering, I need to take a look at Hope and see if she's got a bad underbite because I grind my teeth. Like, if anybody has any miracle cures for grinding your teeth, I wake up every day with a headache and my shoulders and neck and back hurt from grinding my teeth so bad at night. Even my teeth and my jaws hurt.
TMJ, where I had it when I was in high school, and my dentist told me if I didn't stop doing it, that they were going to have to break my jaw. Break your jaw to realign it. So but it's like, how do you stop doing it when you're doing it in your sleep? Because that's when you do it, right?
Right. Yeah, I don't know how to stop doing it.
Yeah, it's like a subconscious type thing. But I don't know if there's like a way that something that you can like maybe put here in your mouth so that you don't do it. Like if you can like,
they have mouth guards for it.
Oh,
but I've tried that before. And because I have asthma, it makes me feel like I can't breathe.
Oh.
And I got to get it out of my mouth. I usually find it on the other side of the room or something the next morning. It doesn't work for me.
I used to sleep with headgear, and that sucks because you have like something constantly in your mouth, like while you're trying to sleep, and then drool like
Yeah.
down your mouth. You wake up and your pillow is like a sopping mess. It was not fun. But yeah, I can imagine it's probably something like that. But
Yeah.
well, ladies, gentlemen, Scotty B, I'm still going to find out who you are because now you've got me intrigued. Stephanie, I'm gonna wait for you to come see me like tomorrow. Okay, so just go ahead and take your butt in your little firefighter suit and come on.
Right.
Luann, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate your support and being here. I know we've talked about community and finding a sisterhood, and I know you and Mindy are super close. And I think Luann, me and you are a lot alike in that respect. That we've looked for community.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to be accepted, and we have a lot of the same views and opinions on things, and we allow each other to have different opinions, which is so rare these days. Luann, I think we've talked about that. It's hard to have a conversation with people without, and have a different opinion without getting your head blown off, So I appreciate that. My computer is getting ready to die on me. I just got this computer this week from Mindy's husband, Jason. So I don't know why it's not charging. But anyway, we appreciate you guys all being here.
Everybody. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. And those of you who are going to watch it after the fact, we appreciate every view that we get. Leave us thoughts of things you'd like to talk about, or,
And sorry, Sarah, I didn't cut you off.
And like our Facebook page, comment, share it with other people, subscribe to our YouTube channel. All those things just help us grow so that we can reach more people with our message. Scotty asked us what we were all about. And my answer to him was that we're all about breaking free from shame and learning to embrace our imperfections. And I think that's really just in a nutshell, the heart of what we want this to be about. But we also want it to be about creating relationships with people, being there for one another, and all that as well.
Right. Showing up, imperfections and all. I mean, I really thought about coming here with my towel on my head tonight. I just did not feel like fixing up. So next week, Wednesday, I may not. I just, and it's taken a long time. I'm 45. It's taken a long time for Sarah and I to get to this place where we can just show up and not have to, and just be who we are. So we want everybody else to feel that way too. But anyway, I love people too, Luann. My computer seriously is getting ready to die, and I don't want to cut you guys off. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for showing up for us.
Yeah, like thanks for being here.
Share. We want to get our message out. We're going to start doing some really funny things, but we just now got my laptop, and we're just now getting set up to where we can do these videos and things. So be on the lookout for some more beauty hacks from Sass and some more funny videos we're going to bring to you guys. So anyway, thank you for being here. We love you, and you guys have a safe and eventful week.
All right. Love you guys. Good night.
Good night.